Would you believe America's most hated fish is now worth $100 million? The river explodes into chaos. Silver missiles launch from the water, slamming into boats with bone-bruising force. Screams cut through the air. This isn't Hollywood, it's the Illinois and Mississippi rivers. For decades, Americans called them trash fish, invaders no one wanted. They devoured everything, multiplied by the millions, and left native species starving. But here's the question: what if the fish everyone hates could be worth millions? From pest to profit, from ecological disaster to unexpected opportunity, this monster of the Midwest is rewriting the rules. Now discover, America's most hated fish just became a 100 industry. They were never meant to be here. Asian carp arrived in the 1972nd, imported from China to clean up catfish ponds. Harmless at first. Then came the floods of the 1992nd. Mississippi levees broke, thousands escaped, and the nightmare began. Each female lays over 1 million eggs a year. 1 million. Their growth? Explosive. Some reach over 100 pounds. Every day, they eat up to 20% of their body weight in plankton. That leaves nothing for native fish bass, walleye, bluegill, starving in their own rivers. On the Illinois River, surveys found something shocking. Carp now make up more than 70% of all fish biomass. 7 out of every 10 fish. Moving fast. Biologists warn, only 60 miles from Lake Michigan, one step away from the Great Lakes, a $7 billion fishing economy on the line. So the question is, destroy them at any cost, or find another way. For decades, America fought back. Electric barriers, shock grids, endless netting campaigns, millions of dollars gone. And still, the rivers boiled with silver flashes. Fishermen cursed. Nets tore under the weight. Processors refused to touch them. To most Americans, carp was worthless, a burden, a curse. And then everything flipped. A single deal. A Chinese food company made an offer no one expected. Send us whole frozen carp. Clean, cheap, uniform. Suddenly, bonfires turned into freezers. In Illinois and Kentucky, fishermen raced back to the rivers. Thousands of pounds iced down, truck after truck loaded, containers bound for export. The fish once despised became cargo worth millions. Today, harvests from the Illinois River alone exceed 15 million pounds a year. The invader that drained budgets is now fueling jobs, families, and exports. The hated monster of the Midwest has been reborn not as trash, but as treasure. Forget rods. Forget bait. This isn't fishing, it's war. On the Illinois River, steel boats 60 to 80 feet long roar against the current. On deck, crews unfurl nets wider than a basketball court. At the stern, sound cannons thunder underwater. The river erupts. Silver bodies explode from the surface, leaping like missiles. Water boils, men shout, engines scream. Then the haul. The net groans as it rises. 3 tons, 4, sometimes 5 in just hours. Scales shimmer like falling coins. The deck trembles under the weight. Gloved hands heave fish into bins of ice. The air reeks of diesel and river. Muscles burn, backs bend. But every splash means money. Once, these docks sat empty. Now, they're stacked high with iced carp, bound for markets across the globe. This isn't just a harvest. It's combat, waged with diesel, steel, and sheer determination. First time it's a war, America is winning. What was once a nightmare is now a resource harvested by the ton proof that even the most hated invader can be turned into profit. The roar of the river fades. Now, the hum of machines takes over. In Kentucky and Illinois, trucks back into USDA-certified plants, spilling thousands of pounds of carp onto steel conveyors. Cold mist hisses. The line comes alive. Knives strike in rhythm, heads off, scales stripped, blood drained, ice poured in. Each 10-15-pound fish becomes product. Pristine fillets, flash, frozen with IQF technology, cell by cell. Nothing wasted. Heads are boiled down for collagen. Bones pressed into oil. Skins turned into usable material. Trimmings shaped into sausages and fish cakes for Asia. It's not just a line, it's stability, a paycheck, dignity. But the story doesn't end here. From the heartland, the journey stretches across oceans. Refrigerated containers 20 tons at a time seal shut with steel locks and QR-coded labels. Inside lies what America once called trash fish. Outside, an export worth hundreds. In China, steaming fish heads are delicacies. In Vietnam and Thailand, kopi becomes fish balls and cakes. In Nigeria and Ghana, it's smoked and sold in bustling street markets. Europe experiments with pet food, supplements, collagen. Each container brings in up to $220,000, with margins as high as 30%. Annual exports already exceed 15 million pounds. Riverside towns that once faced decline. From factory floor to global trade, America's most hated fish is no longer a burden. It's a booming $100 million industry. Abroad, carp is gold. But in America, it's still trash. Generations grew up calling it muddy, bony, unfit for dinner. Supermarkets won't stock it. Chefs won't cook it. Diners wrinkle their noses before a single bite. To change that, Illinois tried something bold. A new name, kopi, short for copious. A fresh start for a hated fish. Tastings rolled out in Chicago. Patrons braced for something foul, then froze in surprise. I thought it was crab cake, one diner admitted, after finishing a kopi patty. The truth? The flavor is the meat, white, firm, versatile. But prejudice runs deep. Americans crave boneless fillets, and carp is packed with bones. Marketing campaigns push forward. Food trucks serve kopi tacos. Restaurants sneak it into menus. But acceptance is slow. So the question remains, will Americans ever embrace the fish that fuels a $100 million industry abroad? Or will it remain a resource for everyone, except the nation that caught it? The profits matter, but something deeper stirs beneath the water. Every year, millions of pounds of carp are pulled from the rivers, and slowly the balance begins to return. Surveys on the Illinois River tell the story. Carp once made up nearly 70% of all biomass. Today, in some stretches, that number has dropped closer to 45%. First time in decades, native species walleye, bass, bluegill are fighting their way back. Water grows clearer. Aquatic plants, once smothered, take root again. Eagles circle above stretches of river alive with diversity. And the money? It's not just lining pockets. Revenue from carp exports, funds, restoration projects, planting underwater grasses, reintroducing native fish, cleaning riverbanks long buried under invasive pressure. For towns along the rivers, the change feels personal. The fish that once sank their livelihoods is now reviving them economically and ecologically. From menace to manager, America's most hated fish is being fished into balance. Proof that profit can also mean protection. Once branded as river trash, Asian carp has been reborn, an economic engine, an ecological solution, a $100 story. From chaos on the Mississippi to factories in Kentucky, from bustling markets in Asia to restored waters in Illinois, this journey proves a simple truth. Even the most hated invader can be turned into opportunity. It's more than money. It's resilience. It's creativity. It's survival. Communities gained jobs. Rivers regained balance. And a species once cursed has become a symbol of reinvention. So here's the lesson. With determination and bold ideas, disaster can be reshaped into hope. But this story is only one of many. Nature, people, and industry collide in ways you've never imagined, and we're here to uncover them. Subscribe to Now Discover and join us for the next hidden transformation. Because sometimes, the world's biggest problems hide the most unexpected solutions.